Greetings everyone and welcome to part 3 of my video titled Proof that Homosexuality is Sin. If you haven't seen parts 1 and part 2 of my video, click on it, view it, and return to this video. In order to discern whether homosexuality is something that one is or something that one does, you must first know the definition of homosexuality. The term homosexual was first coined in 1892. Homosexual is defined as having sexual attraction or desire for persons of the same sex. It also means of, relating to, or characterized by a tendency to direct sexual desire toward another of the same sex. It also means of, relating to, or involving sexual intercourse between persons of the same sex. Concluding from these definitions, homosexuality seems to be more of an addiction and a preference rather than a trait and a genetic predisposition. Okay, today, many people believe homosexuality to be something that one is, something that they're born with from the moment of conception. Okay, the entire gay and unchangeable theory has been actively promoted by gay rights activists and in support of the political correctness theory, or their chance of being politically correct. Okay, so my question is homosexuality really an inborn and a natural variant of human nature? The answer to this question is simply no. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is born homosexual, and none of the evidence conducted claims that there is. None of the evidence points to homosexuality to be simply genetic. And as I said before, none of the evidence claims that it is genetic. This view was just promoted by the gay rights activists and those who support them. For more clues, check out this video clip.
Do you think this little boy will grow up to be gay or straight? How about this girl? Gay or straight? Look carefully, see what you think, and we'll tell you the answer in a minute. But first, you might be wondering, why does this matter?
It's abnormal, it's an abomination.
Here's why. Some people, like these protesters, think people aren't born gay, they choose to be gay. But Gerwolf Rieger, a psychologist at Northwestern University, says no one chooses their sexual orientation, and these home videos prove it.
We see that gay people start to behave differently from straight people at a very, very young age.
Observers who looked at about 100 home videos of children, each for just a few seconds, were able with surprising accuracy to tell which ones would grow up to be gay. Rieger thinks the observers were picking up on nuances.
What are you taking off?
The sort of mannerisms you see exaggerated or parodied in portrayals of gay people in movies and TV.
So a stereotypical mannerism of a gay man is that the limp wrist, or how you tilt your head and so on, or that you smile and so on. And it turns out that to a certain degree this is true.
His study suggests your sexual orientation is with you from birth, and most of the current research agrees. Rieger's colleague Michael Bailey studied identical twins and found if one was gay, the other was relatively likely to be gay too. Other studies suggest gay men are more likely to be left-handed. And get this! According to a current study at California State University, gay men are more likely to have hair that whirls in a counterclockwise direction. Many experts say the physical differences between gays and straights are so significant, genetics must play a role. In fact, some researchers are now looking for gay genes.
It doesn't seem to be the parents or the peers that make you gay. It seems to be something that comes from within.
Rieger himself is gay, and so are some of the other scientists who do this research. And that makes some cry foul, like a professor of child and family studies at the University of Nebraska.
The researchers have values and biases, and they bring those when they do research.
He thinks people choose to be gay.
There is no evidence of a gay gene.
Whether sexuality is a choice or not may never be settled. But in the meantime, here's the answer to the quiz. She grew up to be straight. He grew up to be gay. Elizabeth Cohen, CNN, Atlanta.
Homosexual advocates and gay rights activists receive their information on homosexuality from the iniquitous scientific studies of homosexuality by Dean Hammer, LeVay, and Bailey and Pillar, a study of twins who were homosexuals. Okay, now what is ironic is that all three of these men conducting these scientific studies were homosexuals themselves. So the evidence, so the research was already biased from the very beginning. If you don't believe me, check out this video clip.
To twins who are 9 years old. One room is all camouflage, airplanes, and military toys. The other? Well, see for yourself. A pastel canopy, stuffed animals, white horses. Not all that surprising for boy-girl twins. Except these twins
What's your base code?
are Jared and Adam.
I have the Marines parking only.
When I came for a visit, Jared was eager to show me his G.I. Joe collection. Adam, on the other hand, I hate to interrupt you, but I just noticed you have nail polish on with stars
And diamonds.
and diamonds. I have to ask you a question. Did you go to school like that today?
Mm-hmm. I just showed them my nails and they were like, why did you do that?
Adam's behavior is called childhood gender nonconformity, meaning a child whose interests and behaviors are more typical of the opposite sex. Research shows that kids with extreme gender nonconformity usually grow up to be gay. Danielle is Adam and Jared's mom. How early on did you notice this difference? About 18 months. He was really into asking for a Barbie. He wanted a Barbie. At 18 months. And what about Jared? What was he asking? Fire trucks. Fire trucks. Not that much has changed. Jared's favorite game now is Battlefield 2 Special Forces. What's your favorite game?
It's called Neopets, the Darkest Fairy.
If you were going to tell a stranger what you were like, what would you say?
I'm a kid who likes G.I. Joes and games and TV. I would say like a girl.
You would say, I'm like a girl? That's what you would say? Why do you think that is? Michael Bailey, a psychology professor at Northwestern University, is a leading researcher in the field of sexual orientation. They've grown up in the same house. They've been treated the same way.
To me, cases like that really scream out, hey, it's not out there, it's in here. There's no indication that this mother is prone to raise very feminine boys because his twin is not that way.
So you don't think it's nurture?
I don't think that nurture is a plausible explanation.
Psychologists used to believe homosexuality was caused by nurture, namely overbearing mothers and distant fathers. But that theory has been disproved. Today, scientists are looking at genes, environment, brain structure, hormones. There's one area of consensus that homosexuality involves more than just sexual behavior. It's physiological.
There are studies that show that if one identical twin is homosexual, there's only a 50% chance of his identical twin brother becoming homosexual himself. Okay, now this is far from the 100% that one would normally expect, considering monozygotic twins to be, considering that monozygotic twins have the same chromosome profile. Okay, now the chances, the penetrance rate, the gene penetrance rate among dizygotic twins would be much higher than it is within monozygotic twins. Monozygotic twins have the same chromosomal profile, so if homosexuality were truly genetic, it would probably be a 100% chance that the identical twin brother would be homosexual as well, not 50% chance. The chances of that would be very much higher than that, since dizygotic twins, the chances of dizygotic twins having the same chromosomal profile are extremely small, as all scientists know. So we take a look at monozygotic twins. If one monozygotic twin is homosexual, then it should be about 99.9% or 100% that his twin brother would be homosexual as well. So homosexuality cannot truly be based on genetics. It cannot be a genetic factor. It must be something from the environment or something psychological. Homosexuality can't be genetic, so it must be something in the environment that triggers it. Maybe something in the environment, social environment, or maybe it's something triggered in the children's childhood, their early childhood, maybe something psychological, maybe psychological factors, or maybe a behavioral trait that the child learns somehow. But either way, homosexuality has to be a choice. Sexual orientation is definitely a choice. Whether it's made consciously or subconsciously, it's definitely a choice, and it could be based on psychological factors, environmental factors, based on propaganda influence. But whatever it may be, it's definitely a certain type of choice that the person makes as to choose their sexual identity or their sexual preference.
Around a lot of different people. People are not born gay. I don't care what anybody says. It's not genetics. It's a learned trait. My point of view, a biblical perspective. It's not supposed to be that way.
More on this topic in my next video. I want to thank you all for tuning in to my video. Be sure to tune in to the next video. Be sure to check out the links on the right side of this video. I want to thank you all again for tuning in to the video. God bless you all. Amen.